In today's Java with Jamie, she became California's burger queen at the age of 17. And what a ride it's been. I delve deep with the daredevil owner of In-N-Out, Lynsi Snyder.
Oh, there goes my vanilla shake. I dip my fries. You're one of those.
And she's Lynsi Snyder. One part wild child, another part president and owner of In-N-Out Burger.
Thank you for having Java with Jamie. You brought your own coffee. What is that?
This is from Rad Coffee, which is a local coffee shop.
So you support other local businesses.
I do. I'm a big believer in that.
Lynsi and I met up at the In-N-Out Museum in Baldwin Park, a replica of the original built by her grandparents in 1948.
This is what the original In-N-Out burger looked like?
Yeah. Tiny, isn't it?
It is so tiny.
In-N-Out revolutionized hamburger stands. It was California's first drive-through.
We can thank In-N-Out Burger for the two-way speaker.
Yes, really cool part of our history. Harry got this idea from being on ships. He was in the Army.
Harry Snyder opened the first In-N-Out steps away from this replica where the 10 freeway now stands. On the other side of the freeway, a long line of cars, a busy kitchen, the company store, and In-N-Out University, where company leaders are trained. All leaders start out in a kitchen. Some have been with the company more than 50 years.
Your management team can get paid almost $200,000 a year.
It's been the culture, so we've tried to continue it.
The pay, the culture, and family drama. Lynsi spills the tea on it all in her new book, The Ins and Outs of In-N-Out Burger. She also details what led to her own come-to-Jesus transformation.
There's a verse that says, "The joy of the Lord is my strength," and I feel like that's true for me.
Lynsi and her company are openly and unapologetically Christian. Bible verses started showing up on cups in 1985.
And that's something you've kept.
Yeah, kept and actually added some.
It's no secret, Lynsi has a past.
You've had 4 marriages, you've talked about dabbling in drugs and alcohol, and you're a religious person. Is there a contradiction there?
The judgment piece, I think naturally people just kind of do it even when they say they don't. And I don't love when people do that to me, but I'm used to being misunderstood by people that aren't close. So I think it kind of comes with the territory.
Do you think losing your dad so young had an impact?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, classic daddy issues and trying to fill that void.
Harry and Esther Snyder had 2 sons, Lynsi's father, Guy, and her uncle, Richie. Harry was complicated.
From my understanding, he was pretty nice to other people, but I think at home, some of that stress, he took a lot of it out on my dad and my uncle. So, they were abused, and that affected them a lot, because I think a son having his father's approval is really big. Like that in your childhood affects the rest of your life.
Harry died in 1976 at 63. Her uncle Richie took over as company president at just 24 years old. Meanwhile, her dad pursued his passion for race cars.
You love racing.
I do. I love drag racing. I was exposed to it as a baby. Some people have it in their blood, that adrenaline thing where they just, love the smell of gasoline and racing fuel, and and I'm one of those.
Lynsi is not only fearless on the track, she's fearless on stage. Here you see her performing with her band 48 Special at over-the-top In-N-Out family picnics. She's also an aerial dancer and a fire eater.
You have lived an incredible life.
I feel like I've lived a lot in those 41 years.
All the excitement, not so typical for a mom of 4, leading a billion-dollar empire. Her position, the result of a series of family tragedies.
Your uncle dies in a plane crash. Your father dies when you're 17. How have you been able to manage all of that grief?
I have to go back to God, because I truly believe without him, I probably wouldn't be here today.
Lynsi is Harry and Esther's only grandchild. She spent elementary school in anonymity in small-town Northern California. After her uncle's death, her father took control of the company and moved the family closer to Baldwin Park.
Everybody thinks about the money and the fame and the fortune. You actually never wanted people to know when you were a kid that you were part of the In-N-Out family.
It wasn't part of my reality. I lived up there and was sheltered from it, and then when I was in 6th grade was the wake-up call. We moved down here, and I went into a school where now people knew who my family was, and were figuring out who I was, and were treating me differently. And so that was when I realized, wow, can I just be normal again? You know, because there's a difference when people know.
Lynsi's been happily married for 9 years. Her 3 earlier marriages marred by infidelity and codependence.
Guest 15, please.
To achieve balance in her life and family, she made changes to company culture.
I noticed when I stepped into the leadership role, there are a lot of workaholics, and I have to fix it.
While Lynsi has final say on all major decisions, she doesn't micromanage.
We have a strong team of leaders.
Lynsi does shield her kids from public view, but often picks them up from school and schedules dates with each of them.
I originally was doing something they wanted to do, and then I was like, wait, I'm going to make them selfish. I'm like, I need to pick what I want, so that way they're sacrificing, maybe not doing exactly what they want.
From Harry Snyder's original hamburger stand, In-N-Out has grown to almost 400 stores. I had to ask,
Why not sell and take the money and run?
No, that's not an option. You know, this is a stewardship. This is something that's been handed to me to take care of, and I take that seriously. You know, continuing my family's legacy. So no.
So you're not selling?
No.
We love strong women around here, and
Wow.
she is very much a strong woman to go through all the grief she has, run this company. I said, what's a misconception about you besides all of the rest of your life? And she said, people think I don't work. And she's like, every day I'm working so hard making all these decisions and I'm exhausted. And I said, I can imagine.
Yeah, and 4 kids and a marriage and overseeing that whole empire. But what an interesting story. So fascinating. And I'm sure she has a lot more compassion for the people who work for her and
Absolutely.
brings that to the table every day.
Well, that's what, when you visit In-N-Out, you do have that feeling. She calls it her family. She doesn't just look at these as her workers in the, in the burger joint, and they pay very well, and they've been able to keep prices low because they source their produce locally and have developed really good relationships with people. So it was fascinating to meet her, and I'm glad I got to share her story.
Yeah, I love that they take care of their people too.
Yes.
Thank you. Really interesting story.